Hello, guys. Welcome to the second Sully's Treasure Cup. Right now, James is picking a matchup right now for the streaming table. Uh, we were going to try and get a R long.
Versus Kid, or you want to see? Yeah, that one, right?
New Calgara versus Kid, yeah. Alright, looks like we're going to get a Calgara versus Kid here.
Give me Kagura versus Kid.
Yeah.
Folder tab, select.
Who is it?
Um,
Also, I don't know if anything's messing up with that or it doesn't. Ah, there we go.
I was looking around, yeah.
Oh, hello. What is up, Deus? Let's see. We got Dom. I don't even know where they're at on here, but Dom and
Yeah.
Zubat. Okay, so we have Zubat. Those of you just tuning in, it is me and Andrew again, the Grizzly Bear.
Yeah, and it looks like we have 25 people today.
Yeah, 25 again, actually. So shooting it over to the players, we do have Dom versus Zubat. We got Zubat on the left playing Yellow Kid, and Dom on the right playing Kalgara.
Yeah, so I think this is a matchup most people haven't seen, but I assume most people know the tools. Maybe Calgara a little less, just because it's always been kind of a rogue deck. Calgara is a fact, if anyone doesn't know, is going to be attach one Dawn to the leader, and when attacking, you could take one life and you could play a Shandorian warrior type character um, equal to the amount of Dawn you have or less.
Mm-hmm.
So usually you're going to start seeing his effect at maybe 5 Dawn, getting an Ohm Holy combo out with a 5 cost, I believe it's a Wiper, which is a 5/7. So this is a very aggressive deck that's taking its own life. Your only way to heal back, unless you're running the 10 drop and Nell, is going to be the having Calgara on the field and then playing a Noland, which only heals you if you have a Calgara.
And it's not searchable either.
Not searchable. It will be during OP12 though.
Yeah, I did see the support. Even the
hmm
vanilla, this deck's getting a full art as well.
yeah.
Very nice full art as well.
Yeah, this is a deck. If you're not ready for it, I think it can literally beat any deck. But it's also very volatile against other aggressive decks.
Yeah, it's a glass cannon. If you
Yeah,
don't see that heal factor, it's just rough.
it
Rough
is.
time.
It is a glass cannon, but
But it shoots hard.
it also runs 8 counter events that
hmm
are 1 cost. You have, of course, I'm blanking on them, but it's the one where if your opponent is at 2 life or less, it's a 4K counter or 2K otherwise. And then there's the Calgara specific one. That's a 3K counter, and then if you have an upper yard in hand, you can play it, which is the 1 cost searcher stage.
Yeah. Yeah, and that stage, very
hmm
nasty.
And I do
Um,
prefer to go first usually. If you go second, you are on curve for a 6-drop Calgara Nolan play,
hmm
which is also very effective. But if you find the right pieces, I think going first, just to start the aggression tempo, and then again, that 5 Dawn turn, if you get the Ohm Holy Wiper, that's 3 characters spit on board at once.
Yeah, and then that's exactly what you need too to just go aggressive.
hmm
Especially with Kid, it kind of wants to make it to late game just so they could start dropping the 8 kids, using it as
Yeah.
bodies, laws. Um, it's turn 2 play. Kid typically wants to go second, establish, maybe
Yep.
share Hoshi, turn 1 if he's running it, and then Basil. Basil is the main turn 2 play you want.
Yeah, and with like again your 8K, 7K, even some 6K stat lines, they're going to be harder bodies to attack into without having a lot of removal. Um, so as long as Calgara starts off like with a very aggressive start, I think Kid is definitely going to have a rough time because even like with a heal, a Kid, I mean, one blocker on field, it's going to be nothing with like 5, 7K, 8K swings.
Yeah. Oh, he's opening up Hacky EB.
Oh,
Maybe he pulls the manga. I don't
ah,
think he got anything.
shoot.
2 rares. All right, so Dom has just finished his mulligan and is going to have to keep whatever he just drew there.
Hmm.
I like to say you get what you get.
Yeah.
So I believe Kid is starting us off. Yep.
Yep.
Scratchman Apu is a good little tech card. I've seen some lists run it, some lists don't. It is a blocker if you have more than one Supernova on the field.
Yes.
That's not Apu. Oh, and here's that upper yard that we were
Yep.
talking about.
Always good to have because there's, I think.
A wiper that'll bottom deck and search.
Yeah, I think there's 3 cards that also interact with upper yard. Being able to return it, search out more upper yards, the counter event. It's a very nice stage for this deck, and it chooses the holy.
And I know I did bring up that wiper, but the wiper does not only just have the bottom deck upper yard, it could bottom deck your opponent. So in case it's facing a Blackbeard,
Yes.
getting rid of the full lead stage and still searching on top.
Yep, I've done that many times.
And we do see a 5K swing, and Dom decides to take it. He's considering on doing leader effect here. It's a good option not to. At the same time, the leader effect would have gave the Zoro blocker, but you already have the Apu.
Yeah, without Calgara having a board, yeah, I don't think you need to. Yeah, so it looks like he did grab a holy, so I'm assuming maybe he has an ohm in hand already.
Yep, I did see the Ohm. Yep, so Ohm's going to hit the field.
Yep.
Search top 5, find a holy. If not, he does have it in hand. Oh, and perfect.
Yeah, he gets another one. We do see him bottoming another one, but again, that's fine. This is more just like your early game setup. Also, too, Calgar has a very weird searches where they're searching for very specific types, like upper yard,
Shandorian Warrior.
the 2-cost searcher, like those are all Sky Island.
Shura.
Where, yeah, some of your others are going to specifically be Shandorian Warriors, or specifically Upper Yard. It's a lot of searching, so it's usually not a surprise to see most of your deck.
Yeah. And I do see Dom taking a lot of life here. Typically, I feel like Calgara usually counters out of a lot of early hits.
If it's just a 1K, yeah, I usually like to.
And clearing the board is good. You specifically want to go for that Ohm if
Yep.
possible as well. And this is where it's good that he didn't activate it last turn, because if he did, that Zoro would not have been able to restand this turn, since leader ability cannot flip up an up-facing card already.
Yeah, because also, too, with Zubat's hand at, I think it's only 3 cards, like, I would have just went straight into the Zoro, drain that even more, or get that body off the field. Not
And
using his
choosing
leader.
not to use it. But he's also pretty down in health. Not sure if he has the Nolan in there to heal.
Oh, he forgot his leader ability. Yep. He forgot it's Dawn times 1. Yep. And that that mess up really ruins the tempo. And I think he might have been taking all that life because he might, he has the Calgar and Nolan. That was going to be his play since he's a 6 Dawn.
Yeah.
But now that he's messed that up, I'm not sure if you go slow and maybe do a wiper. And this, yeah, and I think this, I could be wrong. I think this searches for a Shandorian Warrior or an upper yard.
So there's an
Yep.
upper yard right there, and another Calgara as well.
Yeah, with only one Dawn left, I mean, another upper yard isn't a bad take.
I do think Dom has Thor in hand, so he
Yeah.
could keep the Don up for some type of counter next
Yeah,
turn.
but also too, making sure you have a couple Calgaras is always nice because if one of them goes and you don't have another and you have a Nolan in hand, you're not going to be able to utilize that ability.
Yeah. So since Zubat did take the 2 life, obviously, he is going to be able to use his leader ability again,
Yeah,
which is also good. But also on his 7 Don turn, if he has that secret law, which I don't see it in his hand, could have also healed this turn as well, and then made the law blocker, which is an
Yeah.
even bigger blocker.
yeah, Secret Law would be nice. I could also see, I know he has the Basil Hawkins and a Shirahoshi blocker. So maybe just a combination of that and then using leader ability on the Basil Hawkins because that's putting a lot of threat on Dom. Because even when he heals, that'll just be another trash at his life.
And you do see Zubat actually pressuring the Holly here. Dom did pitch an Ohm, but at this point, we're not going to be playing the Ohm. We're going to try to play out that Nolan
Yep.
from hand. If able to, maybe a counter here. Especially if you're going to take one for Calgaro next turn.
Yeah. Maybe he does have the, maybe he does have the Secret Law. No?
Maybe another Nami.
Oh.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, this is where that mess up last turn, not using Calgara's ability, is you're really feeling it.
Yeah. Oh, and a bad out of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, and you're forced to go for board now, but you only have the one swing, and he also has an Apu on the board. And Calgara really doesn't have any
Removal.
tools besides just aggression. The only removal you used to sometimes see is a couple of the 5-drop Namis, but that's pretty much been taken out. Just do what it does great, and that's how you play Calgara.
Yeah. And if he would have been able to establish that Calgary, he would have at least had 2 characters he would be able to fight against this Zubat's field.
Yep.
At least removing the Nami.
Yeah,
Which
at
is
least
still some
removing the
pressure.
Nami or both blockers. So this is kind of a tough decision. Now you're going to have to go back to the use leader ability, get Calgara Noland that he didn't utilize last turn.
Looks like he's going to try to swing big into the Nami here, going for an 8K swing.
Yeah, it's just going to
Zubat's
force a
probably going to give that
blocker.
Apu here.
Yeah.
Oh, going to leader. So there goes, going down to 2, and then Nolan will get him back up to
Perhaps
3.
not to.
Very interesting that he blocked there, to be honest.
But I guess the Basil can be effective in this matchup.
And he's going to heal. Oh, this would have been nasty. This
Yeah.
was established last turn.
It looks like Zubat also has the ACOS kit, I think. So yeah, all these pings and 8-cost kid, this is going to be tough. We don't even have a Dawn up for another event. I don't think he has anymore.
Yep, and here comes the pressure. At this point, he's running kind of low on counter, and then we do know Zubat does have that ace cost kid and is going to be able to trash whatever life he chooses to
Yeah.
trash here. But at best, he's going to poke with 3 other swings
There's
after
also,
this.
I think I might have saw the new EBO2 Sanji in Dom's hand. Yeah, that's an interesting card that I haven't considered.
It's a nice blocker and be able to, what, draw 2 or draw 3 cycle?
It's draw 2, trash 1, and you have to be at 2 or less life, I believe. So I guess it also kind of helps find your Nolans or Calgaras.
Yeah. We do see a trigger. I would think that was Satori. If I barely got a glimpse of it there.
Yeah, it's probably Satori, but he realized he can't give up a 2K right now.
Hmm. Yep, it was Satori.
Yeah. And I can't specifically remember how Calgara's effect works. If Calgar is at 0, I think you can still use his ability because I think it's you play and then it's, then, take 1 life.
Yeah. I think, yeah, taking life is a call. I think you should be able to even add no life. Starting off with a Luffy search.
Hmm.
Probably looking for the law here for a potential heal. And there is 2
Oh,
laws there. Or maybe grabbing the kid to just go lethal next turn.
Yeah, 2 laws and a kid. We know he has 1 kid, so I don't think that'll be a problem. I think a law might be better just in case.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he's opting for that law there.
I think the law might be better because Dom's going to be forced to go for Zubat's board. Because he can't leave that many characters up, even though he's going to be dropping a kid.
Yeah. Although next turn the kid would have been good just to go lethal
Yeah.
and just poke all away.
Ooh, and a null end.
Oh.
That's not one you want to see go to trash right now.
So he does get the cycle effect here off this useless Captain
Yep.
Kid since Dom is at 1 life currently. And then next turn we'll be able to heal with that law if
Heal
he
with the
needs
law,
to.
if he absolutely needs to, but he also has an Onami in hand. So just to prevent some silly trigger, he might just opt to use Onami on Kid, swing in.
Hmm.
Depends how much Dom leaves up.
Yeah, also, even if Dom decides to go for life, the Veggie will be able to stop one of these swings.
Yeah. So with current board state, you can't afford to use leader ability. Okay, he uses the Onami. So down to 2 cards in hand.
Is that damned pumpkin hand?
I don't know if it's Damn Punk or if it's... It might have been a 2K. Because I thought he got a beige. Yeah.
Looks like he's just gonna opt to clear one of these bodies, but it's a pretty rough spot here.
Yeah,
for
just
Dom.
because the Shirahoshi blocker, you just swing into a 5-cost body. I know the deck is supposed to be aggressive, but with Zubat only having 1 card in hand and with the amount of bodies on field, I mean, you can't. I don't think you can force game. The only rush you have in this deck is
The
Ace.
8s, yeah, or
Yeah.
the Anel.
Or the 10-cost Anel, yeah. Which I'm curious what Dom has in his hand, because he does have 10 Dawn. Yep,
Probably KO one of these Namis.
yeah.
So at least is able to clear some of the board. Really interested to see what he does with the rest of the Dom. Maybe could have swung a little bit bigger into the rest of Zubat's board here.
I'm curious too, because I think he has a 1-cost event. I know Dom probably wants to play another body. He might have also been keeping up an extra Dawn just in case that life was an event, but obviously you kind of figured out what it was with the Damn Punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but 6 Dawn left. Don't know what else he had in his hand.
I don't know. I
He
think
does have Zelthor. I could see that right there.
I think he also has the Shura Searcher.
Oh, he passed.
Yeah. If that is a Shura Searcher,
Probably.
I probably would have used it just to find another counter event.
And this is where holding on to that other Captain Kid would have been pretty good. Being able to trash the life and then just go lethal with the rest. But again, we do have the board pressure to just pressure Dom's hand here and heal and buy another turn.
With 9, Dom can get out of it, but I think I don't know if he has any 2Ks, so that might be asking for 3 cards.
No, he's got the Althor. Oh
Well,
no, yeah,
Althor isn't a
Zubat's at
4K.
yeah. Zubat would be at 3 life, so yeah, Althor's not
Yeah.
active.
Well, plus I wasn't sure if that was Althor or the other counter event.
Yeah, no, that one's the Althor. I think Althor's the only one of the only searchable. He used the other one earlier for the +3.
Oh, yep.
Oh,
Give up.
5K encounter.
It's tough. And that leaves with 1 card in hand that I think is. If it's Althor, it's only 2K. If it's the other one, it's 3K. So I think it's. I mean, it's just math here, depending on what that trigger. If Dom has a trigger.
Yeah, he did get a glimpse at it, so we'll see what it is in a second.
Yeah.
There goes the 8K.
Yep. Yeah. So that was
Slamming.
Althor, so that's only 3K counter.
Very unfortunate there for Dom. That
Yeah.
one turn missing that leader ability there was very unfortunate there for Dom.
Yeah.
And potentially just cost them the game, honestly.
I honestly think it did. That game would have been way different if he used the ability. Because also too with Calgara, if you step off the gas for even like 1 turn, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, because even then the Veggie trigger would have stopped one of the swings, but Dom would have been able to establish a whole other body after that and still had Calgara Nolan.
Yeah.
Loses the Holly and Wiper, but still, Calgara is what you want to have on the field.
Yeah, he would have been in a great position because after that sequencing and what Zubat had, yeah, he probably would have been left with Calgara and Noland on the field because the Nami would have went for Wiper for sure.
What is up, Chris? Oh, you had regionals yesterday? You better have finished good. What'd you end up finishing? I hear a lot of people around here finished X3s.
Yeah, Hart said he went X3 yesterday too.
X3, Carrasco finished X3, Chunks X3. A lot of people here were on the online regional, so they came out today. Surprisingly enough, we have 25 people once again, so there's 1 bye.
Yeah, I was expecting a little more, but maybe it's just because Treasure Cup started at the beginning of the week, right?
Last week.
Or last week, yeah. So
people
at
probably
this
already had
time,
their-
there's so many Treasure Cups that happen. I think people, again, it's either they won or they're just like, I don't feel like going anymore. I'll just buy the pudding.
X3 with Teach, 7 GPs.
Ooh.
God damn.
Not bad, though.
That's great.
Yeah, I saw a couple of the teaches against GPs. It's not as bad as I thought, especially if for some reason they just don't see the secret Luffy at the right time.
Are you still using Doc Q's in the list at all, Chris? Or did you switch over to like the VV list? I've been testing out Jesus' list with the VVs, and I do like it. I'm just so used to playing more of a control build with Teach, so it's a little different than what I'm used to, but it still does its thing.
Yeah, but I think with like honestly, the aggro matches is just going to get worse and worse, like even going in the OP12. Because I think like just kind of like early analysis of OP12 and also too where OP11 is ending, like Bello Betty's again, like Zoro is still around, BP Luffy, GP Luffy. OP12 is also, Zoro is going to be a very aggressive deck too. So I think that's kind of where our meta is starting to head. Power creeped aggression.
Well, it was bound to happen.
Yeah,
it was the early life of the game, and now we're right back to it.
Yeah, no more slow control.
Standard list. You got Laboons in there too? Still on the Laboons? I would imagine Laboons is still good for this meta if you are playing the standard list. All right, let's see. We are waiting on 5 rounds here. I know one of them being a limb. Let's see here. Let's see if yesterday's winner. He did win his round 1.
Oh, yeah.
Against Jesus.
Player.
Look at that. That guy has been cooking with Vegapunk.
Yeah,
0 Laboon.
That Vegapunk GP Luffy match yesterday was Dude, I was just having deja vu. Like at a certain point, like I wasn't sure if it was the same turn or what, because the GP Luffy kept playing. Basically, his whole turn was just playing 4-cost Zoro and then just swinging into life,
Yeah.
and maybe playing a blocker. I think it was like he didn't see any Sanji and Puddings, but then the Vegapunk, it was awkward too, because he just wasn't having like any characters, and I think one of his searches, it was the 1-cost event, but then his search was literally his stages and events, like no other characters.
I've been there with GP, so trust me.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a very awkward game until the end when like GP Luffy just wasn't breaking through and Vegapunk finally built a board, and it was just over at that point.
Jesus. Yeah, Chris, Jesus looks like he took a loss round 1 here against Robbie from
yeah.
yesterday.
I mean, I'm assuming he's playing Vegapunk unless it's something else.
I would
And
imagine.
I don't know what Jesus is playing today. I'm assuming
He's been on a
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard wave.
Yeah, I was gonna say like if it was Bonnie, like usually does very well, but sometimes you can get pretty high rolled if they see enough Namis.
It's just whether they see it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like we're still waiting on the same. Oh, we're waiting on 4. One of them did finish.
Yeah.
So while we wait for the rest of the players, we will be taking a short break here, and then we will be right back.
All right, and we're back. So we're going to have Moose playing GP Luffy, and then I think it's Chonk playing Arlong.
Here, hold on to that. All right.
That's for the TV. Just setting up all the timers. Yeah, so we are going to have Chunk versus Moose Scan
Or
up on
Chunk. I said
stream.
Chonk on it.
No, Chunk is on Arlong, so this is going to be a very interesting matchup right now.
Yeah.
And
I
then Moose is on GP.
think GP seeing a 4-cost Zoro is really going to help in this.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I know, like, most of the bodies that Arlong is going to be putting out are 6K stat lines.
Yep. So I'm going to be kicking it over to the players here. So we do got Moose and Chunk, both local players here. Chunk actually plays mostly on the north side that I know of, so maybe a lot of people know him in the chat here. And in Moose Scan, we have seen him multiple times here at the store. So again, we are going to see an Arlong versus GP Luffy. Very interesting. Chunk actually just won a treasure cup with this Arlong.
Yeah, I don't think it's surprising. It's just such an aggressive deck, especially like if it's not running in the Bonnies. I mean, even a Bonnie it could possibly beat, but I know that's a harder matchup.
You're good.
I know some other harder matchups like Lucci can be tough for Arlong, just setting up blockers and removing his field. Also, some of the newer cards that Arlong is running, I think it's the 3-cost 4K Arlong, which on play you choose one of their characters and it cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's turn. So not being able to rest means not being able to attack and also means not being able to block. So that's actually like an unblockable for Arlong. And then there's also the 4-cost 6K Arlong that on play you discard a card and then their leader can't attack next turn.
All right. It's just I set up all the players already.
Yep, so it looks like Chunk rolled a 7, Moose got a 10.
Moose is choosing to go first. And you want to go first to take it away from Arlong's aggression here.
It takes it away, but I don't know how much that affects GP Luffy.
I mean, you could still set. So if they're running a standard list, so I do know typically if they are running the Luffy Taro, it could be Sanji Pudding, don't proc leader ability. Then next turn, lay down the Luffy Taro to another Pudding ideally, and then proc it.
Yeah, and then out of Arlong's hand, I'm not sure exactly what you would want to see. I think it's maybe just like enough bodies to play out realistically. I don't think there's too much you're specifically looking for on opening hand, besides just like a nice ratio of bodies.
Yeah. And both of these players actually play test against each other all the time here. So we'll go ahead and start the timer with them. So let them go. So again, Moose is going to start off. Ideally, preferably, they find a Nami or a stage, which we do see stage.
Yep.
Gets a draw. And we do see the Zoro in hand, which is going to be good to be able to arrest some of the characters on Chunk's side of the field.
Yeah, depending what kind of characters he brings out.
And turn 2 pass for Chunk. Again, this is why you wanted to take first. Ideally, yes, curve is great for Luffy to go second, but you don't want to let Chunk go too crazy with Arlong here.
Yeah, because I guess then realistically he most likely gets the first body on the board or meaningful body, unless GP plays the Zoro on that 4-Dawn turn.
And there's a potential chance that right here Moose will possibly play out that Nico Robin just to block the first aggressive swing here.
I don't think it's a bad idea. Because other than that, I mean, like he has stage, his 4-drop, so not going to be able to play that. So just getting Nami out now might be fine.
And there's that Nico Robin there. And there's that Arlong from EBO 2.
Yeah, I explained it. So it's on play. You choose one of their characters, and it cannot be arrested until the end of your opponent's turn.
You could also choose leader?
I don't think it can choose leader. I think it's just characters. So it prevents blocking and attacking or any rest effects.
Yes. And you know what? Arlong is just going to get better because of next set support for sure, Hoshi and Jinbei. And we do see that leader ability procced off there, establishing that Basil Hawkins, which is going to be very annoying because you don't want to clear it because you'll trash your life, but you don't want to let it keep swinging at you either.
Yeah.
So no Sanji pudding, which is very unfortunate here for Muscan here.
Yep.
Could do the stage to try to dig for it, but
He also, I think he has a Zoro Juro. Unless he would. I mean, with Stinks too, with this Hawkins, like, sometimes I'm kind of the idea of just get rid of it now because I feel like you're going to lose a life anyway.
yeah. And looks like that's what he might be contemplating here. So yeah, and here it goes, trying to get rid of that pressure. Trunks does counter out of it because he wants to keep this aggression going to Moose here.
And then Zoro, I don't believe gets rushed unless they have 2 or more characters.
Yeah,
right?
Trunks would have needed to have 2 at minimum. So maybe possibly the Zoro Juro search would have been good there just to continue to try to find the Sanjin pudding here. But again, wanted to get rid of this Basil to take the pressure away. And here comes that aggression 7, and he's going to swing big with leader, using the ability playing out another body here.
Yep, which is a attach 2 Dawn, rest 1, play out a body with trigger that's 4 cost or less.
Yep, just like Doflamingo.
Doflamingo, but you're getting rid of the resources out of your hand.
Does take the life here.
Yep.
Swinging 8 to leader as well.
That's tough. Yep, and that's the new Buggy. Yeah, Buggy is on play. I think it could anything, or is it just leader double attack? Yeah, your leader gains double attack till the end of the turn as long as you don't have another Buggy in play.
Yeah.
So it kind of prevents like being able to just constantly chain Buggies.
Yeah, but the only thing is that this Buggy is going to be able to swing for 7 as well next turn also.
Yeah.
But did use that Nico Robin ability to be able to search there. So did find that Sanji pudding. He's going to get a draw. A little late, but better late than never, I suppose.
Yep. And then, too, we still have that Basil Hawkins on the field, so I don't know what we're going to do about that yet.
He might just swing 5 into it. Again, Chunks is basically dwindling his own hand to be able to use leader abilities, too.
Yep.
And we do see a decent amount of counter in Muscan's hand. Might use leader ability here, yep.
Yeah.
At least give himself that 1k buff. Sanji Pudding will give that 1 back. And might start chipping away at the Basil, potentially. Yes, trash a life, but then he's going to have to save the rest from there. He's talking about the Buggy being a 4-6. So he's going to choose to use that stage ability on that Sanji.
That does matter for the EBO2 Arlong because it can only affect 5 cost or lower. Yep.
Oh my goodness. Kikanojo trigger out of life, so.
Yeah. And what's also going to be tough is you might just have to, as GP Luffy, you probably just have to go aggressive at this point.
Yeah, just go
and
for
hope
life.
You can outrace them.
Takes another. Oh. Double Kikanojo out of life. Is crazy.
Yeah, and this is kind of the power of Arlong if you can't deal with them in the early game.
Possibly. It would have sucked, but maybe holding on to a Don for the Gum Gum Giant would have been pretty nice, but he just needs to be able to survive.
Yeah, because Gum Gum Giant, I don't think gets you
I think he's
there.
got 3 Giants, too. Oh, that's just a rough setup. So he's probably going to just swing 7s across the board. Let's see, 7, 7, 7, and the rest on leader. Oh, he's going for board clear, which is good because if he doesn't
Yeah.
get him this turn,
He could go 7s because it will just ask for a 2K because leader is 6K right now. At this point, it's just 1Ks that Moose has to give. But we are out of 1Ks unless,
yeah, he's got a 0 cost event. Yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't have. He's got a lot of bricks.
yeah.
Got another Sanji in hand, as you do see there.
Yeah, I know it would have been maybe good to have one active Dawn for the Gum Gum Giant, but I think if he Gum Gum Giant, I think that's also another, like, possibly gamed over. I think he has to hope for a Secret Luffy turn, but I don't think he has one in hand.
He has 2 Secret Luffys in hand right now.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Are they just alt arts and I can't tell?
No, they're base ready. They're right there at the end.
Oh, okay. So I think that's maybe what he was going to hope on.
Next turn.
Yeah. And I can't remember if Arlong plays any blockers at all.
Yeah. We do see the 9K to leader, and then
Yep.
is pretty much going to ask for pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's going to take 3 cards out of hand with the 0 cost event and a 2K.
Yeah.
Maybe he takes this and then just Hail Marys next turn.
And then if Arlong plays anything with leader ability, if he wants to do that, he might play the 4-cost Arlong just to stun the leader to prevent another swing. Yep.
And there's that Arlong.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So with that, if he Secret Luffy's, only one can knock it through.
yeah,
He needs 3 connects.
3 cards in hand. Numbers are kind of adding up, but again, you never know about what the Arlong can trigger out of life here.
Yep. And I don't think it runs any blockers, but I could be wrong. Because I think they want the most consistency with aggro and trigger bodies like these Kikanojos that came out.
Yep. So there is a chance that we might see a Brûlée, or yep, like how Simon's saying, Sanji or Brûlée could be coming out of this chunk's life here. Electric Luna would be good for Moose to stun
Yep.
the board, and he does have the Giants to be able to survive some pretty big swings. So does he establish that 6-drop and just go
I
for
think,
it?
because how much Dawn does Moose have? 7?
I believe he might be at 8,
8?
potentially. 7 or 8. Takes the 6K to leader here.
Also, too, with any trigger bodies, it's just going to replace everything. That rests a character, I believe, right?
I believe so.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Kurobi going nasty.
I think at this point, I think we might just want to do the Secret Luffy and hope
Yep.
and pray.
Pray for that
Because he
Luffy
has
thing.
3 cards in hand. Hope it's not another one of the fishmen that would rest.
He's opting for Sanji Pudding. The Secret Luffy would probably be the move. Does have the Dawn to survive, but he's going to waste all his Dawn with Giants if he decides to take that route.
Yeah, it would waste all his Dawn. He could, Sanji Pudding, put down another Sanji and then leave 2 up for Giants.
He's got 3 Giants. I mean, he could leave them all up.
Does get the draw at least.
Yes, he was at 7 Dawn.
Mhm.
Gonna neg with leader ability, get himself up to 6. Get 6 Dawn back, essentially.
Yeah. So Arlong is at 8 Dawn. After using ability, because Sanji, you have to have 2 or less Dawn, right, to put out a blocker?
Yeah, so he could establish that Sanji blocker,
Yeah.
but We don't know if Chunks is running the Hody. He might be. I would imagine he is. Hody will be
Um,
able to rest.
they might. There's another way too. If he has another EBO2, actually
Arlong.
no, it wouldn't hit because it's 5 or less.
Yeah.
And Sanji's a 6.
So he would need to see a Hody Jones to rest whatever Don or Block or Moose
Yeah.
has here.
I guess the only good thing about facing an Arlong is like he's not going to have that much counter if Moose can survive. So it's not like he needs all the Dawn just to be able to get game. Is that almost every giant? That's 3 giants and what, a lightning?
I don't know. And it is, I think 3 giants for sure.
Yeah, and he's not 2 or less, so he can't play Sanji as a blocker.
If he can make it out of here, there might be a chance Moose gets there.
No, yeah, if he survives, I think he can. Oh, just another search, which I don't know.
I would leave the Don up just for giant.
Yeah, but we need to also rest enough so we can actually use all these instead of putting back active Dawn.
Yeah, I mean,
guess-
he'll be going
yeah.
for it.
So I think.
Is that a 0 cost event in that search there? Oh, Gum Gum Gatling.
Oh, yeah. That will actually help a lot.
Gatlings is a good find there.
I think it's possible because it's either chunk spreads, because I think if he goes tall with one body, I think that could punish him just because of Gum Gum Giants being able to cycle
Yeah.
and being a 6K lead.
Does he have? He's got one. Yeah, one of the 0 cost events.
Yeah, because so using the Gum Gum, you rest 1, you put down 2, so then that leaves you with 2 rested for the next Gum Gum to do 2.
If he
And
Hodies,
then I think, so you do have enough Dawn for 3 Gum Gum Giants.
yeah, easily. Starting off with a 6K here, he does have that Rona Zoro there for counter. Yep.
Yep.
And we
Oh.
start seeing he's poking at his life here.
Yeah. I think just trying to force out the Gum Gum Giants or events as soon as possible.
Maybe just gonna give that 2K up. I think is the play, potentially.
I think you just have to.
Because what is that? Another San? No, that's the 0 cost or the 6K, 6 cost Luffy. I don't think at this point there's no point in holding on to it if we're gonna Gum Gum Giant to survive this turn.
No,
So
you're
that'd be
not
a
going to
good-
be using
That
it.
would be a good pitch for Giant. We do see the 2K.
But we are going to have to start using Giants here, which is going to make that one big swing in hurt a lot more. Because if we don't find like another 2K, 1K, or 2K, 2K, maybe even a 1K, 1K, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. And here comes the first Giant here, pitching that Secret Luffy. Yep. Isn't a Dom minus to get 2 other cards and potentially counter here.
Yep.
Oh, a search card and a
Oh, and a brick.
good fodder for Giants, though.
Yeah,
We're going to see another Giant here.
but we already had fodder for one more Giant, so
Yeah.
that makes
So here
it
comes
tough.
a 0 cost event here, saving some Don for potential other kind of lethal.
Yep. And then we're going to bank off the Gum Gum Giants because this is going to be...
Is he going to go for a big swing?
I think he is, and I think he's going to put some more on the other.
Ooh.
Ooh.
16 the leader here.
16.
Does Moose get there?
As long as
he draws counter up Giant.
As long as he draws counter, I think he's okay.
Yeah,
Because
so
he
that'll
needs
put
an
him to
extra
10.
2K, 1K.
Nah, he'll be fine anyway. 3 Giants, that's 10, 14, 18K. He gets out of it.
No, I'm saying he doesn't have enough for 3 giants. He doesn't have enough Dawn to put back.
Oh, he does. I just know it.
That's what I was saying, where you can only giant
Oh.
so many times. Was that all bricks he just got? He doesn't have the 2K, 1K.
Crazy.
Yep.
4 bricks out of life
Yeah.
is crazy.
Don't worry, the 2K, 1K is on top of the deck.
Chunks.
Or even if
sliding
he
out
just
of
had
there
the
would've
electrical
win.
Luna last turn, it would have
Yeah.
changed it completely.
Big difference there.
Woo.
He drew 6 bricks out of Gum Gum Giants.
That's also how GP Luffy is, though. It's like 2Ks and bricks. That's how it feels.
Yeah, but it's
like
just
you run all these searchers to find your stuff, which is good. But yeah, against like big swings like that, it's tough.
yeah, it's. I really thought he could have potentially made it through there, but some type of count out of 6 cards is what you
Yeah.
needed, and didn't see anything out of 6 cards.
Yeah, that's why
Absolutely
I was
nasty.
saying you need to delay the Gum Gums as much as you can because you have 3 Gum Gum Giants, which sounds like a lot, but it's just because the volume of swings and he didn't have like that much counter in hand.
It just shows you Arlong can
Yeah.
do some things this meta. But a lot of these EB cards, the Buggy and then new Arlong as well.
Yeah, and him being able to prevent that leader from attacking that turn was so huge. Because
Yeah.
if leader was able to attack that turn, Secret Luffy could have just mopped up.
And I know we switched over to the player's camera, but I do know they flipped the cards over I did here. He did have a blocker trigger in his last life
Yeah.
for the Arlong.
Oh, he did have a blocker
So that
trigger?
would have skewed the Secret Luffy play we were
Okay.
talking about. So very, very
Well, there
interesting
would
play
have
there.
been, if I think I remember right, if the blocker trigger did come out, I think he did get a 4-cost Zoro that would have been able to rest it and potentially go for game.
Yeah.
Or even with the blocker trigger, I mean, 2 Secret Luffy swings, I don't know if he would have had enough counter. If Arlong would have enough counter.
If he would have did the Secret Luffy play that last turn, he wouldn't have got there.
Yeah.
Luffy would have took the life, and then the blocker would have blocked. the
Yeah,
last
those were
one.
nasty triggers. And 2 Kikanojos, and then the rest play a body, and then a trigger blocker at the end that we didn't get to see.
Yeah. Gotta take Arlong to regions now, and you best. I'll definitely take
Yeah.
it to locals. I'm actually gonna build it to have it ready for one of these locals. I think it'll be very fun to try out, Chris. It's crazy. I thought he was gonna survive with 4 giants in a 0-cost event.
Yep.
Well, 3 giants, but still.
Yeah.
Besides the point.
Well, I don't know if that was a 4th giant. It looked like something else.
It was a giant.
Was it?
It was. Yeah, he had a 4th giant in hand.
That's tough.
So he was, like Chris stated, immortal, just not immortal enough to make it out of that turn.
Hey, if he went second, he would have had enough Dawn for 4 Gum Giant or 3.
He would have. That pressure would have been there.
Yeah, I think even though it's like you think taking the Arlong curve away is, a big deal, but it's really not.
It
depending
works
what
if you
deck
see
you
your
are.
pieces. If he would have seen Sanji putting on curve, it would have changed the game a bit better, more for Moose. Just
Yeah.
not seeing it and having to search it out off the Nico Robin ability, kind of. That's where it was a little rough there. I'm not sure if Moose was running Radio Knife. I think that is what he pitched.
Yeah, I think he did have a radio.
I've seen
knife.
a lot of people starting to take out Lunas and running a Radio Knife specifically for the mirrors, since you are able to rest and KO a
Yeah.
5. So I know that's why a lot of lists are kind of in between Luna
It's
and
kind of
not.
a split. I don't think you should never completely cut Luna because
Yeah.
it kills so many matchups. Your aggro matchups.
Your Lucci
It can
matchups.
hurt smoker matchups. Lucci matchups. It's such a good card that you really don't want to drop it right
Yeah.
now, or at least completely.
Yeah, that's definitely what it is. If they don't see it, it's just a whole different type of match for GP the whole time. And if you can remove it, it's a
Yeah,
rough
but also
time for
too,
them.
if he went second, he would have had more searches to be able to, maybe get there a bit better.
Yeah. But we got about 12 minutes left, 7 minutes before overtime. A lot of games still going on here, so gonna be taking a short break here while I go see what's going on at those other tables here. So be right back.
All right, and we're back. We have Ben's jamming, and who's the other person?
Should be B-Wave. Oh, hold on.
Teddy.
Nope.
Oh, I thought I refreshed. No?
A Marquez.
Oh, yeah, Marquez. Okay, I was
B-Wave
gonna
is his,
say.
is his Discord.
Yeah.
But I do know he is a Blackbeard player, so I am very
Okay.
interested to see how this match goes. Because I do know Ben's runs more of a
It's the
control
control
build.
Shanks variant. Yeah, which, I mean, to be honest, just makes your chances against Blackbeard even lower.
Yeah.
So this is going to be very interesting because you don't have the Rush Luffys in there. I think he's playing like 1 to maybe 2 of the 10-drop Rush Shanks, but even
Yeah.
then, that really wasn't like saving you in Blackbeard matchups. It was just a good way to constantly go for a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, getting his life low is gonna be an issue here.
Yeah. So hitting it over to the players here. We got A Marquez on the left and Ben Jamin 69 on the right. And again, it's going to be Teach versus Shanks here. One of my favorite matchups here.
Well, I mean it's it's fairly easy, and it made it even worse with the introduction of that Kuzan. Just being
yeah.
able to establish Burgess is way easier.
Yeah, so I got to raise the players up here. Mulligan, bunch of building snakes there. Ben Shaman's hand.
Yeah, the building
So-
snakes actually are decent in this matchup. Even though like it can get popped and removed super easily, it just has the utility of being able to spam out like lower bodies to get
Yeah.
multiple swings in, or once you need to, you know, pop it, lower a Burgess down, or if you're in a position to get a Teach blocker lower to pretty much like force a block, get rid of a Teach.
Yep. 1 second. All right, just letting the players know that their time has started here. So, all right, so Teach is going to go first, which honestly, yes, you're taking away the second curve away from it, but it's okay because you do see Kuzan on curve, and stage opening is obviously the best thing here as well.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing about this matchup, the 10 drops, and especially him not being able to respond with 10 drop rush shanks as much, is mainly just the Burgess out. That usually you would get rid of it with Ben Beckman, but because of Blackbeard's leader ability, it's going to turn off that on play.
And we do see the Van Augers and A. Marquez's list here, so kind of showing that maybe he's running more of a standard list. I know a lot of people are kind of between like the VV list and no dot Qs in reduction, and obviously the standard Auger dot Q, pretty much full Blackbeard list.
Which I think it's very fair to go to that VV list just because of current meta.
Yep, you're gonna want to get rid of that search engine of Blackbeard, and starting off with a Sanji here. Again, we did see him grab a black hole, so he is gonna be able to remove this Sanji blocker, but really no need to really worry about it too much. What you really want to find here is Burgess as soon as possible. It looks like he is trying to figure out what he wants to do here.
Let's see. Playing 5. 5 for a Kuzan.
No stage search. So he's got to have a lot of good cards at hand. Maybe he's got his 10 drops.
It didn't use a leader ability because he's just not even worried about it. There's no point in using a leader ability until Beckman turns. So especially since the Kuzan can't be removed.
Yeah. So he did establish the Marco here. What he can do is, if he has stronger, do stronger black hole, removing the Marco. You get rid of that ability to be able to stick around a little too much. Only event in Ben's hand right now that I see is that 0 cost Bad Manners Kick Course that could save it if he wanted to.
But with the black hole abilities turned off.
Yeah, that's if he takes that route.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to remove the chopper
Yep.
here. And then here comes the Kuzan ability, drawing and bringing out the Burgess more than likely. Oh,
Nope.
here's the Augur.
No, he hasn't really put any cards in trash yet.
Hmm. And here comes that black hole that we were talking about.
Yep. It's a good deal. Then 7 into the Sanji.
Yep.
Unless he wants to
I
establish something.
think 7 would be the good route here. Take away some of that pressure or hands from Ben's, cards from Ben's hand here.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's going to choose the leader ability here because Ben could, respond with a Ben Beckman to get rid of the Augur here. So.
Yep. Which would also prevent the draw.
Mm-hmm. Pitches a 2K Shiryu here.
Let's see.
5 in Blackbeard's hand, so still sitting with a healthy hand
Yep.
here as well.
Yeah, and still at 4 life also.
So sitting at 8 Dawn right now for Ben here.
I noticed also too, Blackbeard didn't use the stage. And I know it could be a case of just doesn't want to get rid of anything, but I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah, especially because you do have access to Kuzan to be able to grab whatever cards you want there. And you do see Stronger getting pitched to protect life there.
Yeah, and I think that's, is that Hongo?
Hongo is on the field, yeah. Hongo is very good for the resting and then getting that reduction off.
Yep.
And Ben is playing more of a control build, but you do see him using the control as more of aggressive, swinging with his blocker chopper here consistently.
Yeah, which I think this is the only way you can win this matchup with Ben's deck, is literally just they use these small bodies and just keep attacking.
We do see a finger pistol pitched right there.
Yep.
So he's opting to just getting rid of that chopper, which is smart.
So have another.
Chooses to pass, not using leader ability, because again, Kuzan is unaffected by any type of removal. So
it keeps the hand healthier because he could have just leadered ability, trashed the Burgess, and then, yeah, that's tough.
Finger pistol out of life.
He does have the rush shank, so that's nice right now. If Blackbeard follows up with a 10-drop, that'd probably be the best case scenario right now.
Yep, and there it is.
Yep.
However, I would have probably tried to establish that Burgess just to put some type of pressure on.
Yeah.
So, and here comes that.
And bring out the Burgess. Yeah, Blackbeard is very healthy right now.
Yeah. Decently healthy now. If Ben's able to chain another rush character here.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that I think Ben only runs 2. 2 rush shanks, I think. I think that's the other one.
Yep. Seeing both shanks back to back is honestly very good for Ben here.
Yeah, that's best case scenario for the deck list that he's running.
So if Marquez here has another teach to chain with it, could at least stun one of these shanks a turn.
Luckily, Ben is still healthy.
A 10 drop there. Yep.
Too. Yep.
Yeah, Ben is sitting very good here. So might chain the 10 drop, stunning the one that is giving the reduction here. So here comes the pressure. So is countering what he is able to protect here, which is the right thing to do there. You know, you're going to take an 8K swing from the Burgess. Currently, there is still -1 reduction since Teach is only able to stun 1.
Do you swing with another Teach here?
And that's exactly what he's doing.
I think
You
that's
could because,
fine.
again, a lot of these Shanks builds aren't playing as much rush anymore, so you could play the gamble. He has one big body on the field. You're not really expecting Shanks to follow up with another rush character, maybe a dragon, but a lot of lists have also been cutting that out for, more of the bomb Shanks and new gates.
Yep. I think the only, just because of the lack of rush in Ben's deck, I mean, I guess you're kind of forced to get rid of one of the new gates. So I don't know how, or no, I think you have to go for life.
If able to, yeah. If Benz is running
Oh,
there's a third one.
but I think, is that the pop or the rush?
No, that's the rush one.
That's
and-
interesting. I wonder if he changed his ratio since last time.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the best case scenario.
Blackbeard
right
is
there.
still okay, though, because Ben is at 2 life.
Sort of at best. Yeah, he's gonna be able to stun one of these.
Yep.
However,
Oh, if he
teachers
swings
are
with,
still tens.
yeah, I don't know if he wants to swing with that Blackbeard right now.
No, this is where it's a little scary now, because even then next turn, if he tries to block with these Blackbeards,
They're
Ben's,
10Ks.
Yep, they're tens, and these Shanks are gonna be able to clear them.
Yep. This might have also been like where choosing not to get the early Burgess might have kind of bit him. Because if he had like that early Burgess getting another life, or if he had 2 out, I think he would have been in a much better position. But he wasn't using stage kind of early.
And you do see he's opting to just go 10 to lead, because next turn he might just be opting to just go for game here. Losing one of these teachers is what he might be doing here.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for Blackbeard, I mean, there's no. I don't think there's a way that Ben could technically win this turn. Just because Blackbeard is at 2 life and he does have the blocker up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a world where Ben has a building snake.
Yep. And it looks like Blackbeard is out of cards. I think he's debating whether to. Yeah, might as well. Hopefully, maybe have some blockers.
Really?
Yeah, might as well just use the brick. Oh,
5
he
cards
does
in
have
hand,
2
2 Dawn
divine
up.
departures.
Yep. He's sitting real good right here.
And the fact that Blackbeard,
Is a
the
9K.
teach is a 9K helps tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Because the split isn't going to be as deadly.
And still has leader ability as well to reduce 1.
Still
so-
has leader ability. So I don't know what you can do here as Blackbeard besides pray. Because I think another Blackbeard would just kind of. I mean, then you're only going to swing with your leader for 5K, and then you
Yeah.
have,
2
5
potential
attacks
blockers.
coming in.
So it's starting with a 12K.
So it's going to be 12-12. So I think he's just going to take it.
It's going to be an
But-
11-11. Oh.
Oh, yeah. With Divine Departures, I think this is over.
Mm-hmm. And that
Yeah.
is game.
Yeah, I did not expect 3 rush shakes in a row out of his deck list.
No, not at all. Especially after seeing this control build majority of the week. Because he did win the Sully's Abode,
The
battle for
winners
the One
event,
Piece.
you know what? I think he was running 2 of the rush shanks, the Wanted and the Altart.
Yeah.
But I remember afterwards he did specifically say, you know what, I'm just going to use, instead of like the regional trip of the prize card, he took the store credit to get that manga shanks.
Oh, yeah.
So he probably slipped a 3rd one in because he
That
got the
could- he's
manga.
got to bling out every form of it.
Yeah, and it might take him through this treasure cup. Who knows?
He might slip the 4th one in when that new Emperor's package comes in.
Yeah. Which I think that's, is that July?
I believe so. It's coming out
Yeah.
very soon.
Yeah,
But
or maybe it was
very
June.
good on Ben's part, though. He did high roll hard, being able to chain shanks back to back to back, basically nullifying the teach at that point, you know, and
Yeah.
making it a 9K instead of its menacing 12.
Yeah, and those smaller bodies were kind of more annoying in the beginning because Blackbeard did have kind of a slow start.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So let's see what's going on here at the store. That was a pretty quick match. There's still 21 minutes, so 16 minutes before overtime. So a lot of the players are still going on right here.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen many Shanks Blackbeard matches like go the time. Honestly, because I think it's usually you can kind of have like a top end battle for a little bit, but usually it's figured out within like, I don't know, 2-3 turns.
Yeah, it's for the most part usually what it is. And again, more of like that control build usually takes away that speed that Shanks used to have.
Yeah.
So I know some people are having like hybrid builds, which looks like what, you know, Ben's just kind of presented there.
Yeah.
I don't think dragons are in the list or dream Luffy's, but that's about it.
Yeah, there's no dragons, none of the 5-drop Luffy's. I still kind of like a mix a rush a little bit. The dragons is the one thing that maybe I'm kind of, you know, running less of, but I still think the 4 or 5-drop Luffy's is really good, even against other matchups.
Yeah.
Because even though it is the control Shanks is very oriented towards getting rid of 7K bodies, some of them are like Marco's, they're very combo oriented, where it's like I need Building Snake and
Hongo.
Stage
Or
a
Hongo.
Hongo. You know, you're asking like too many combo cards, where sometimes Shanks like, you know, it's kind of luck of the draw a little bit. And I think with the 5-drop Luffy's and maybe a couple dragons, I still think it can handle 7K bodies just fine if you throw in a couple stages and orient your 2Ks
Yeah.
to get rid of them.
But I definitely do think utilizing that stage more often to be able to build the trash, get the Burgess out.
Yeah.
And it would have diverted Ben's attention to that Burgess more often.
Yeah.
And then that's where that VV deck list kind of comes into play, because then you could just chump block with that.
Yeah.
You fill the trash up fast, chump block, and then you're just going. So different ways to do it. Still a very good game. It could have been the Blackbeard's game if just the high roll of the 3 rush Shanks there. It's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, because again, I mean, we didn't see that stage actually being utilized till later. And it seemed like he was kind of hesitant just to get the Burgess on the board.
Yeah.
And instead just, you know, having the Kuzans out there. And then opting to go for the Van Auger play on the first one, which was, you know, still good for the time.
Yeah, being able to remove that Marco makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think it might have just been hesitant because he was worried about, you know, being too low on hand size too early. Just because maybe, you know, we've seen Ben's list, but he probably didn't know Ben's list.
Yeah.
He could have been expecting Rush Luffy's Dragons, and that's why he kind of wanted to play
Protect
it a little.
life.
Yeah, protect life, be kind of healthy.
Let's see here. Looks like we're waiting on 5 rounds currently right now. So not bad. Still 13 minutes left. So we will be going on a short break here. There is currently 6 undefeateds going into this round. So next round there will be 3. And that is going to be dependent on the down pair, whether we go into another round or it is done for the day. So,
Yep.
And it looks like we have Shambles that won, and I know he's on limb currently. Chunks
Yeah,
did
beat the
lose to him. Benjamin, which is a Shanks, that is in, and Wise Guy. Not sure if he is on GP or Blackbeard. I know he's another Blackbeard player, so
Yeah.
it's at least a mix for the last 3 undefeateds here, and we'll see what plays out after this break.
welcome back, guys. I believe this is round 4. Yeah, round 4. Right now, our undefeateds is Wise Guy, Ben's Jammin', and Shambles with the down pair. And we're going to be seeing Wise Guy and Ben's Jammin'. Ben's Jammin', obviously, we saw last round, is playing Shanks. And then Wise Guy, I believe he is playing. Okay, Wise Guy is playing Teach. So Ben's Jammin' might have to try and get lucky here again. But I know Wise Guy is very good with Teach. So, going to our players. Gotta change the names.
I almost just knocked ourselves out, huh?
Oh man.
What up, Adam? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's see. We got Wise Guy. Oh, I spelled that wrong.
Nope, spelled it wrong again.
It's all right. Close enough.
Disrespectful, dude.
Close enough.
Yeah, with an H.
Bam. All right, so yeah, we got Benjamin again in the semifinals. Potentially could be the finals.
Yeah.
Highly dependent on whether the down pair loses, which is the limb. So today's winner for the treasure cup is either going to be Shanks, Teach, or a potential other round against the limb.
I could be wrong if Shambles does win. I don't know if I think Shanks would maybe have a better time, but Teach usually doesn't want to see limb, right?
No, not at all. Let me tell you. Yeah, Ben's been killing Sully's locals lately with the Shanks build. Everything, it's been a good day so far. We're in round 4, potential for round 5. Just dependent on the down pair here.
Yep. Are we starting timer yet?
Yeah. Let me say that to the players. Oh. All right, and then top table's on a whole different time start than the rest here. Yes, Adam. So this is basically round 4 semifinals here. And this again, we've seen Ben just take out a Teach last round, so we'll see if he's able to do it back to back here.
And I'd also like to see what version of Teach Wise Guy is running.
Yeah, whether it's the VV build, the casino build, or just the standard build, yeah. So we do see Ben's going first here. Wise Guy taking curve here, going second. So maybe opening up with stage and Lafitte is ideal here.
Yep, Lafitte.
Oh, there's a Lafitte there. Which is now going to act as a pseudo blocker as well, because Ben's not going to want to let him continue to search here.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things, because it just stalls the late game even more. It's kind of similar to like Bonnie in a way, with its Bonnie searchers, but I think Teach uses the searcher much more effectively than every other deck.
Yeah, we do see an 8K swing to Lafitte. We're making sure that Lafitte isn't going to stay a turn.
Yep.
And here, this is the thing, not being able to establish a Hongo or a Building Snake to swing into Lafitte as just another swing here. It's another, again, give Wise Guy another pseudo blocker here. Maybe looking for stage, look like grabbing Kuzan there.
Well, it looked like he wanted to grab the 10-cost Teach.
That's also something you need in this matchup. I have played a couple games where I choose not to grab the Teach, and it just bad choice for myself.
Yeah. Because he could have potentially passed one already, or just wants to guarantee he has one ready to go. Yeah, this is a very strong start already for the Blackbeard, because he got to get rid of these, and Wise Guy's going to be very healthy here.
Yeah, and doesn't see stage, but it's okay, because again, we have these pseudo blockers. 5 down turn, maybe has a Marco to pop the second one.
Yeah,
nope.
that's
looks like he's tapping
ideal.
4 here.
Lucky Roo.
And here we go, setting up the board for the control here.
Yep, and that's pretty much how you're going to use the building snakes in this matchup. It's either they pop it, or it's a free attack in the feet. It's whatever you need it to be.
Yep. And he's getting another search off here with this
Yep.
little feat.
So we've already searched 20 cards in, I believe.
Yep. Probably opting to grab another. Yep,
Another
Myra
search.
begins. And then this would let him dig another 6 cards
It'll-
deep in the deck. So he does have the other one in hand.
It'll dig and also build up his trash for the Burgess.
Mm-hmm. Yep, looks like he's opting to do that. Oh, stage. Finally found it. Probably drew it for turn. Oh,
This
he had
is-
multiple stages.
Yeah, this has been a very powerful start for Teach.
And this is now he's been able to sculpt his hand exactly how he wanted to this
Yep.
entire game.
And then, too, he's gone through his deck so much, he just knows what he's already passed. So he kind of knows, like, do I need to grab this now?
Grab the 2K here. Forward on left could establish the Burgess here, pitch for ability to kind of protect it.
Yep.
And then next turn, Myra.
Yeah, because
Yep.
he's such a good hand size. Like, pitching a card isn't going to be a big deal
Yep.
right now.
And looks like he's on more of a standard list with Laboon, which is the list that I love running. More of a control build than the typical go for phase
Yeah.
chump block with the VVs and Vascos. And here comes pressuring the board here. Finger pistol would have went crazy.
Yeah.
And there's that Beckman that we were saying. And I believe the Burgess is currently sitting at a 6K right now from the looks of it.
Yeah, 6K, and then also, too, the Teach player also has,
Double
what's that,
arrow.
like 7, 8 cards in hand.
Yep. And here's that My Arrow begins here. Vasco's a good choice there. That Shuryu is good, but you don't need to pop the building snake very much. It's a
Yep.
good body to establish. Pretty sticky as
Yeah,
well.
Vasco's nice. If you have, like, room to play it in, like, these turns, I think it's a good idea just to put it out there.
Yep. And that Burgess might be a 7, 8K right now. And he still has stage search as well.
And he might be okay with swinging Burgess this turn just to get rid of the Lucky Roo and the Building Snake.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's that 8K swing into the Lucky Roo. You want to take that pressure away. Maybe a Kuzan here. Unless he's got another Burgess in hand.
Yep.
And then the Vasco shot that he does have
Yep.
in hand, too.
Yeah, this is a really nasty board for the turn he's at. Because he's going to be at 10 down next turn.
Yeah, next turn will be his 8 down turn.
Yeah.
And he does have the Teach in hand as well. So even if Ben wanted to slam it all on and swing at the Burgess, that Vasco shot's just going to protect it. 4 in hand right now currently as well.
Yeah.
And 2 away from Burgess becoming a 9 also. We do see the 10-drop Shanks in Ben's hand, so he will be able to at least slam it down next turn after the Teach is established.
Yeah, and Ben's at 5 life, which, like, you know, normally you'd say that's pretty good because it gives me room to kind of work around a couple Teach turns. But with this powerful of a start from Teach, I'm not sure. So it looks like he is going to try and get rid of one of them, which I think
Yep.
he would have to.
Is going to try to swing. So Burgess is sitting at a 5K right now.
So
Ben was going to swing 7 into it. It's going to opt to 8. If he's
Yeah.
got 2 2Ks, I think it's worth protecting, potentially.
I think it is. Yep.
This also skews the rest of Ben's turn, potentially forcing him to swing big into it right now.
Yeah, I don't think there was going to be much that he was going to be able to do. I think he might establish like another Lucky Roo. Other than that, I think because he does have one 10-cost Rush Shanks for next turn.
And
A
there's
blocker.
the blocker chopper as well. So Burgess is a 9K right now.
Yep.
Get through that air. Looking for another teach potentially to start chaining them per turn. Mine's a 2K, which is also good to have as well.
And then, yeah, with Teach, if he slams down the 10-drop Teach, I don't think he's going to have a problem. He's probably going to use the 10-drop Teach effect, use on the blocker. Yep, so then he could swing in the backman.
Yep. Clearing the board. But as he swung 5, Ben's deciding whether to counter out. Yep. And in this turn, of course, we do see that 10 drop Shanks going to probably hit the field.
Yeah, and Burgess is so healthy, dude. He still has a good hand size and 4 life.
I would take this life here, honestly.
Yeah.
Finger pistol out of life, getting rid of that Sanji.
That and just more counter.
All right, so we do see stage search. Again, probably at this point digging for that other teach, the chain and stun the Shanks here. Unless he has one in hand already.
Yep.
Unless the teaches are in his life, which would be very unfortunate.
It's potential. I mean, he's seen enough. It's either he's trying to get back to it or they're in life. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he might just be using Black Hole and then maybe get another Burgess out and apply pressure on life.
Nope, there's the 10.
Nope.
And we might block here with that chopper.
No, he's going to keep it up.
And here's that pressure here. Again, he's sitting good. He doesn't need to do it. Did he pitch for leader ability?
I don't think
he
so.
did.
I don't think he even needs to.
Yeah, so he didn't do leader ability. He's sitting at a good spot. Burgess is a 9K sitting, you know, he's going to have to use a lot of cards to even try to remove this Burgess.
I guess without using leader ability, the only thing maybe if Ben jamming is the 10-drop pop Shanks, he might be doing that just to get rid of Burgess.
No, it wouldn't work. KO
Oh, wait,
effects.
yeah, KO effects.
He would have to be able to establish
You're right.
like double building snake to Ben Beckman.
Yeah.
Or Beckman and
Jordan, it's round
Otama.
4. This is potential finals. It depends how the down pair does. Which down pair undefeated is a limb.
So did reduce the Burgess by 3 and the teach by 2.
And then now with Shanks active, as long as he doesn't use another 10-drop, they're all minus 1K right now.
I think he might have it.
With how much he's searched, I assume he has another one.
Yep. If you can stun that teach or the Shanks again, just start poking through. Yep, there it goes. And this time Ben's is getting high rolled. So here comes the 5K counter. Divine Departure. We're just dwindling Ben's hand here.
Because right now all we have is another Divine Departure and an Otama left in Ben's hand.
So does he take this life or does he give up the chopper blocker here? Potentially could find a card he could utilize. Nope, opts to block here. And continuing the pressure here. And again, no point in keeping the teaches up because the only swing he has is that Rayleigh and leader swing unless he finds that other rush card. And you could play a little bit more aggressive because now Shanks is, again, on that control more style of a gameplay.
Just an easy 1K out. No reason to take it.
Yep, at this point you want to stay as healthy as possible.
Did he top deck another rush shanks?
If he did, that'd be pretty decent here.
It would be the only thing that makes it effective, but then your Divine Departure is not active because you don't have a Dawn. I think between those two options, I think that's the only option if you have it.
But definitely going second here is what the teach needs to be able to do here. We saw in the last one he went first, and not being able to establish that 10 drop before the teach makes a big difference. Swinging, I believe you just said 17K into the teach there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's no reason to counter out of that.
So, can he find his fourth teach here?
You know, I've always wondered, have you ever seen a teach player deck themselves out?
I've almost done it.
It's like, I've always wondered.
I've got to 5 cards in
So I feel
in
like
the deck
especially like in
before.
a mirror situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think another 10 drop like seals the game, I want to say.
Yeah, stunning this 10 drop shanks and then just start
Yeah.
swinging in will definitely pretty much establish game here for Wise Guy.
Yeah, and if Wise
Um,
Guy doesn't, he's probably just going to swing into the Ben Beckman just to make sure
Yeah, the
like
Rayleigh.
nothing goes
yeah,
wrong.
Gets rid of it.
Yeah.
But don't know if he has it unless he's contemplating whether or not to drop this 10 drop. Oh, pitching for the leader ability here. Probably getting that bird, just that extra 1K stat line.
Yep.
It's going to just go for game here, which is also a pretty good option.
Yeah, 11 lead. I don't think 8-2-1.
And that's pretty much everything in his hand. So let's just start poking and just finish the game out with leader here. 20K for game.
Yep.
Wise Guy taking this round here. And again, depending on whether the down pair loses is where we go down into another round for round 5 here.
Yeah.
So let me see. Maybe their round is over.
Nope,
they're
no,
still
they're
going.
still in it. I don't know what his opponent is playing.
Let me see. Lucci.
Oh.
So it's Lucci v. Lim right
so
now.
Lim does not like seeing Lucci.
It does not. So there's a chance that this may be the last round here.
Yep.
Adam, I showed you day 1, Blackbeard. Hey, I'm glad it was me. Someone had to do it. I love Blackbeard. You guys all know that. Jordan, how's vacation going? I don't think we've ever had a round counter.
No, I don't think so.
Is there? Let me see. Round 4? Yeah, I don't know where it would be at. I see a tab for it, but I've never done it. We'll be alright though. So there is 18 minutes left, and that's including the 5 minutes of overtime. So still 13 minutes left into the round to see whether or not we'll basically see what they finish at here. Really dependent on the limb here.
Yeah. I mean, Lucci has that advantage, but again, also too, I've seen many games where Lucci just like for some reason doesn't see any Rebecca's, or it's not seeing its Lucci's.
Brooke. Mills, it's Brooke.
Yeah.
Well, I
Mills,
could get
it's-
the Rebecca back.
Yeah.
We did see Chunk get another win over the Blackbeard, so he is going to finish at least potentially 3-1 here today. Let's see. Control Shanks auto loss. He did win last game though. That he did win.
Yeah.
High rolled 3 rush Shanks on a teach.
I asked Ben because I always thought his split of the 10 drops were 2 and 2 of the rush and then the pop shanks. I guess he's always been on 3 of the rush shanks and then 2 of the pop shanks, which was, I mean, a little surprising to me because sometimes I feel like that many 10 costs I don't love. But I guess with the exclusion of like Dragon,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that big of a deal. You have the room.
You're swapping the bricks out essentially.
Yeah.
Shanks merits of friendly games of Blackbeard shifted my perspective. I will say, Adam, the hybrid version of Shanks does make it a little bit more bearable as far as having that rush capability to be able to swing into the teach players. That definitely makes a big difference into the rounds there.
Yeah, because it's at least putting them in like a lower life total or less in hand, just because they're countering. So
Yeah.
yeah, usually it makes it better, but it's still kind of tough.
Yeah. Big Castig, look at these handsome mofos here.
Oh,
I know.
thanks, man.
Look at Andrew. Welcome to the stream, Mike. Thanks for checking it out. Finally came to one of them where I'm commentating on. But this could potentially be, again, the last round of this Treasure Cup. And it is. The Lim player
is?
did lose to the Lucci player.
Yeah, it's just a tough matchup.
It really is.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how the win percentages is, because top 2 gets the pudding, and then there's also going to be 2 that's raffled.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's either top 4 or top 6 get an extra event pack.
So top 8 will get an extra event pack.
Yeah.
Top 2 gets obviously the 2 puddings. Top 1 or X1s get prizing as far as packs per head. So
Yeah.
it is split up amongst all the players here. So
Yeah.
at least a lot to kind of get there.
Do you know?
Stream
Do you know what packs they were get? Was it OP10 or EB?
OP10.
Yeah.
Obviously, EB had a big shortage.
Yeah, I think that's why they're doing on entry. It's an
Yeah.
EB pack.
So they did
makes
give
sense.
1 pack of EB to first place, whoever. Well, obviously it's going to be Wise Guy.
Yeah.
So
Because even my box tournament is just OP10.
Yeah.
There's no way they're
there's a
doing
very
EB.
big shortage here. iPhone stream raffle. I don't have access to the Abode Twitch channel on iPhone. Can't do that for you, Days.
Oh, man.
You want to see swap your bricks out? I don't know if you meant
I don't know.
beards or bricks, but Mike meant something.
I don't know. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was hoping to see Vegapunk again today, because I know there was 2 people on Vegapunk. But looking around, it seemed like there was maybe some more tougher matchups for
Yeah.
it.
The Vegapunk ended up X1 today as well.
Okay, so still did well.
So yeah, I wonder how many X1s they're gonna have today. So let's see. Gonna have 1. He went
2,
X2
3.
because of this. That's unfortunate. Oh no, that
No,
actually
that's X1.
that skews the round. So I don't know. Might have to split up the prize a little bit more. So who knows? We shall see. Chad demands it. I know, Days. Unfortunately, have no access again to the Twitch iPhone. Make Sully lend you his phone. Solomon is actually in Orlando right now at Collecticon.
Oh.
So there's also that. But yeah, obviously this is the last round, so this is probably going to be the end of the stream here. As always, every Wednesday we do stream locals here at the Abode, so make sure you guys tune in on Wednesdays, subscribe to the Twitch channel or follow the Twitch channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are streaming it on SGTCG and Sully's Abode currently, so if you guys want to watch back replays, you can always check out the YouTubes and the Twitch VODs. It's always access to that. Wednesdays at 6:15 is usually when stream pops on, and we do stream locals weekly. And again, winners of the locals get a chance to get invited into the Sully's Abode Battle for the One Piece event. So the Winners League is what they call it.
Yeah. And then I think it was the June 8th is a case tournament.
Yeah, potential case tournament. And I haven't seen more details on it, but yes, there should be a case tournament for the new set of OP11.
Yeah,
So
more details will come out
yeah, more
shortly.
details
Like
will
check
come
the
on it.
Discord. And then I don't know if there's any other platforms that they use to promote that.
Discord, definitely, subscribe or follow the Discord. All the information will be put into the One Piece Tourneys tab there. So, oh, Mike, it was based on that. Oh, he's talking about the bricks and we're talking about cards. I'll definitely hit you up, Mike. But as always, thank you guys for tuning into the stream and catch you guys on Wednesday for Locos.